Well, a big question arises. Are you working or forking? Forking is just a funny word that I have coined for the entire phenomenon where people, even at work, are constantly checking their instant messaging, social media, and a number of productive hours as well as so. Now, the reason I came out with this question, asking this to everyone in general, whether you are genuinely working or forking, as I called it, because you're using your phone most of the periods of time. Your fingers are literally constantly on the phone on some of the other application. So in the light of the entire hullabaloo about the statements made about work hours by the L&T chairman, and it has triggered a lot of debate all over the country about whether 90 hours should be the work hours, 70 hours should be the work hours. One of the main things that I have observed is with the advent of social media, with the advent of smartphones, there is actually a complete distortion of work timings and work ethics. So how are you ever going to classify it in hours is a very, very big question. So the same thing, if you go back 20 years, people, when they were in the office duration, were focusing on the work. There were lesser distractions, and today the biggest distraction is right in your hand, your cell phone. So what tends to happen is, which I have also observed personally, that if there is a work hour, let's say of 9 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day, the actual number of hours people are without their cell phones and genuinely focusing and working. So I'm not talking about physical presence, completely mentally present without thinking about anything on any application, any messaging or anything of that nature. The total duration is not more than 3 to 4 hours. So for an employer, that is absolutely challenging, because there are a certain number of hours committed by an employee, but due to the multiple distractions, mental distractions, these are not physical distractions, mental distractions, the actual presence, mental presence at work is not there. That's exactly what I call forking. Are you genuinely working, or you're just on your phone and you're trying to balance your phone and working together, which actually hampers production and productivity in an organization to a great extent. So in such a scenario, how can 70 hours, 60 hours, 90 hours, anything be defined for a current entire generation of individuals, which may be physically present for that many hours in a workforce, in a workplace, but the workforce is not mentally present. So the entire focus on work is definitely not there. So as a matter of fact, if I ever see that people, even who are taking a break and going on vacation, so-called, are also constantly on their instant messaging or social media. So there is nothing called leisure, there is nothing called working. Everything is like a forking, that is people attached to their phones at any and every point of time, which also I call the concept of fake busy. Everybody is very busy. Very busy is highly questionable again, because of the advancement of technology. A lot of mundane jobs have become easier. A lot of jobs which required physical effort have been mechanized, and despite that, everybody is excessively busy. And one of the key reasons for this is lack of mental peace. The constant mental engagement that is happening, seeing videos on these platforms, mental engagement on social media, mental engagement on instant messaging. You are replying to everybody and anybody at the point of time, they are seeking your replies. So this entire situation leads to a lot of, you could say, mental pressure and stress. So to a great extent, you constantly feel you are busy, though in actuality, there may not be a real busy agenda or schedule that you're genuinely having. So that also is something which is creating a lot of disruptions in people's work life, family life. But that's again for another discussion that I would definitely want to have in detail. But this is primarily, again, leaving you with the thought, are you working or forking? And as an employee, very, very important, if an organization is investing in you, then it's for the working. You need to be mentally present at the work also. It's not about the number of hours. It's being present completely, physically, mentally for those number of hours. Always commit to working, not forking.